What happens when the Texas National Guard is deployed with rifles, with weapons, to defend the state and uphold its laws, and the Biden administration federal agents say, you're the ones committing the crimes. Both groups point at each other saying, you're committing crimes. For now, I'm hoping what happens, Border Patrol leaves. They just leave. They can file their lawsuits, and that's the end of it. But my fear is that we get to the point where Texas National Guard is ordered, secure this area, do not let people pass. Plainclothes federal agent with a gun walks up and says, lower your weapon. This is a federal border jurisdiction. The state says, back the F off, don't move, and things escalate from there.
I think because it's a situation where everyone on both sides are trying to preserve life. You've got the federal government saying these poor immigrants, we need to preserve their lives, whereas the Texas government saying we need to preserve the lives of our citizens. That the law enforcement's not going to turn on. They both want to like de-escalate and make this as peaceful as possible.
I got to stop you right there, and we'll do a fact check. The Biden administration, I believe, although it is an opinion statement, I'll respect that. I will. But I do think it is fair to say the Biden administration is not trying to save lives.
Yeah.
People coming on this journey die. Young women are horribly raped in huge numbers, and crossing the river is dangerous. They die.
Children are getting trafficked and raped. They're finding 5-year-old girls with 10 samples of semen inside of them. I mean, it's terrible. That's not really a pro-life position to take.
And they're dying in the desert.
Yeah.
So if the Biden administration actually said we're going to protect these people, he would go to the Mexican government saying we're securing our borders, we're locking it down, and you need to stop these people before they cross into this dangerous territory.
That's the argument I would make personally. I don't think that they're helping by letting them, urging them to come across the border, but I think the state of mind that they have is toxic compassion. We can help everyone come.
I think that's an excessively optimistic perspective on what the Biden administration is there for. If you look at the EU policy, if you look at the American policy over the past 20, 30 years, but really aggressively so as of late, it seems quite clear to me that this is actually a plan to flood the country with immigrants. And as a libertarian, I'm rarely am I considered a border hawk, but when you actually look at it and you see that this is like an operation that's being ran on high, I think that it would be foolish to look the other way and say, oh no, they're just the people looking for opportunity. If it were the case, as it was historically, that if you were an immigrant that got across the border and the only thing offered to you was perhaps a low-level job and you had to grind your way to the top, that's a totally different incentive structure than what we face today, where these people are offered clothes and food and housing and everything that they could possibly need. And sex changes.
And healthcare.
And healthcare. I mean, the list goes on and on. I don't think that this is an accident, and I don't think it has anything to do with sympathy for it.
I would also, I was just going to say, I don't think that we can overlook the fact that this is being done in an election year as well, because what's happening is you're having an invasion. Okay, they're trying to replace the population. The Great Replacement is not some conspiracy theory like the left-wing media wants it to be. They say that it's some kind of white supremacist conspiracy theory, and as we know, it's very real. We are being replaced in this country by third world invaders, criminal, illegal, alien invaders. And unfortunately, what's happening is when these illegals are coming to places like Texas, you have governors like Governor Abbott who are then putting them on buses. And I had, one of my followers on X sent me a video that they filmed of a bus of these illegals with Texas plates getting dropped off at a train station just outside of Chicago. Why does that matter? Well, people may think, oh, it's all fun and games, ha ha ha, give these Democrats a taste of their own medicine by shipping them to sanctuary cities. But these are cities where they give illegals driver's licenses. And so these people are going to have IDs, and what's going to stop them? Not that we really have voter ID in this country anyway, but what's going to stop these people from voting in our election?
But that's not the issue. I'm not concerned in the immediate with the idea that an illegal immigrant votes. The issue is simply by being here, it gives Democrats more congressional seats and more electoral votes.